Live on the internet.
It's the Twerp show.
Coming to you with another edition of the Fun Palace In-Houses. I'm Twerp, he's Mcscrag. Nobody's here yet, so we're talking to no one. But, no, it's good. It's good. Just waiting on the room to fill up. And we will be getting going shortly.
Actually, 50 might. I wish the friends list was bigger.
I know.
I filled up on however many, like, so long ago, and now it's like I have to constantly go through and, like, weed people out who don't play anymore.
I feel so bad, and then they come back to the game like, yo, why'd you delete me, bro? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
So if those of you watching were watching the Shaper reveal stream beforehand, it was pretty awesome. New ADC coming our way. We're going to get into the thick of it on tonight's Money Pigs. Should be good. Spore Smith is going to be joining us to talk esports and the Desperator.
Man, everyone's AFK.
Yep.
Ugly toddlers online? Let's get this guy in here.
He played last night. He should... All right. Full
There we go.
teams.
Got him.
Okie dokie. So let's see. People have been, as much as draft is fun, it does kind of take a while to get set up. So, I mean, we were doing blind pick last night, and people seem to like it. We can continue with that.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me. Maybe if people want draft, they just ask for it, I think.
Yeah.
Play up the players, I guess.
We had no global Sakari ban because we'll let people play her if they want. They had a gentleman's agreement last night for the most part until Tulse played Sakari and rustled everybody nicely. But
Typical.
if they want to play Sakari, I'm not going to stop them. So
Okay.
since you're the guest, Mcscrags, I'll let you have first pick, sir.
All right. I will pick Yagachu.
Yagachu. No surprises there. Oof. Where do I go here? You know, I think I'm gonna go with Rattan. He has quite the in-house record to speak of. Plus,
He got lucky, please.
He's up there with you with games played. So,
Oh, I think he might pass me soon.
well, he has like 14 accounts also, or has he just been changing the name of his main account? I
It's
can't.
just been changing it. yeah.
Okay.
It's like a weekly occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
Primo Britannia. I give it about a 7. He's had some better ones. All right. Well, I will pick Pork Chop.
All right.
Oh, everyone just came on AFK who I messaged.
Yeah.
that it's full.
Now they're all like, dude, there's no more spots, but.
Yeah.
Well, I said it last night. We'd be doing it at 4. So, they can get into other games. We'll be rotating people in, no problem. I'm going to take Corruption.
Good pick. I will take Gatsby.
Oh, you bastard. Gatsby, was making sick plays last night on Renzo and Reyna. He did really, really nice.
Gatsby is my bro.
Yeah, Gatsby's good people. I will take... I'll take Barry.
Oh man, got to split up that England synergy.
No Inglando.
No England, so I will pick Icy Pan.
All right. I'll go with Toddler.
And Snitch.
All right, and I'll take Nicken.
Sounds good.
Everybody ready? Let's see. Okay.
I hate my team.
Good, Rattan. That's what I want.
Just channel. You got to channel the hate into
Mhm.
strength.
It fuels you.
That's right.
All right. All right. Play Sicaria at your own risk of being lame. Gatsby going back to the old faithful Renzo here. Yagachu hovering over that jungle Sicaria. Listen, if you want to play jungle
Challenge
Sicaria,
accepted.
yeah, by all means.
I think he did it in solo queue when she was released, and to mixed success. We'll just say that. A couple games in a row.
Meanwhile, it looks like Nicken trying to do the Gladiator Flynn, which Prime Knight tried to do last night. It did not work to full potential, I would say.
It's Flynn is. I think Flynn has like pocket strength in certain compositions, like really hard engaged team fighting compositions. But and he has a strong laning phase. But he's just. I mean, I feel like there's just so many better things he could pick. But hey, props to Nicken for pulling it out. I hope it works out for him. Toddler with the Freya jungle. I really like to see that. I love seeing some Freya.
Yeah, Freya doesn't get a whole lot of love in a lot of these in-houses, but she is certainly strong, and in the right hand, she can be incredibly deadly, so...
Yeah. Yeah, one of the higher skill cap junglers for sure, and a bit of a risky pick. She falls behind real hard. But if she gets ahead, she turns into a monster.
Yeah, much
Yeah,
like Salas, when he gets behind, it doesn't really feel too great, but again, when he gets ahead, it's a nightmare to deal with. So we'll see how the early jungle plays out for Freya. Going to be jungling up against a Kindra, who isn't a terrifying jungler to have to jungle against, but the same kind of situation where you don't want her to start to steamroll, because then she can become a real big problem. So we'll see how the early game plays here.
Yeah, Freya generally much more aggressive with ganking than Kindra. She has, a point and click gap closer that can't be dodged, and 2 forms of CC when she hits level 6. So really strong ganks, high damage. So expect Freya to be trying to snowball the lanes early.
30 seconds
Yagchu
until minions
usually likes to
spawn.
farm up and just kind of get those items and then utilize his item spike.
Let's see already a bit of a skirmish happening in the bush down here. Rattan getting taken down to about
Low.
25% health, maybe even less. So he's going to have to go back and heal up. Going to give Mortal a chance to get some vision on that armor buff, which they do.
Yeah, and so mirrored wards, no surprise there. Most junglers love to get that ward on the enemy armor
Minions have
for information
spawned.
on whether they can invade or not.
So
And
we'll
then
see how, if Freya decides, looks like she's positioning for the early armor steal. She's up there. Mortal does not have vision up there, but for all they know, they could have warded their own buff, so it looks to be maybe going to go back and start at her power. Now she sees Renzo's over there, so maybe
yeah,
will affect
she'll
her
know
jungle
she'll know that Renzo didn't ward it, because she would have seen the ward being placed. But he's gonna get that advanced ward in between the rocks here, which is such a powerful ward. Or is he? Oh, he might have warded bottom actually, because he was down there.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be short wards top lane big time. The whole money pigs area exposed. We'll see if Spear team is aware of that and able to capitalize.
What do you think about this lane down here? You've got Tactician Dibs and Gladiator King of Masks. Now, I mean, it's not uncommon to see mages in lane at all, but we generally don't see a lot of Gladiator mages. King of Masks especially, he seems to be more favored in that support Tactician mage role. So, are there any merits to a Gladiator mage like that?
Yeah.
Early gank happening out here. We'll have to get that thought later. Gatsby in a bit of trouble. He is on the run. Does not want to blow any spellbook spells. I don't think he did.
Yeah, no, he just walks right out.
He just
bit of low
swag walked
damage
away.
there from Flynn.
No need to blink there.
Yeah. Good attempt by Tyler to sort of do those unexpected early ganks. People don't really expect, because so many junglers tend to full clear these days, but just not enough damage coming out. Maybe I didn't quite see, but maybe we missed a dibs queue or something.
Something. could have happened. But this Gladiator King of Masks. What are your thoughts on Gladiator mages?
Well, I think Gladiator Com is fine, but it's just kind of a waste of his kit because you're using his spells to wave clear and farm so much that you know, he's just so much stronger in the tactician lane bully role, you know? I think Gladiator Divs is a much more viable, like I think they could have switched the roles there easily for a better composition, because Divs on the other hand such low cooldowns that using his Q to farm the wave effectively and push hard is no problem at all. And he just scales so hard, so if he builds, you know, power items, which is usually what Gladiators do, then he can really turn into a monster, whereas Com doesn't have nearly as good ratios as Divs. You know, Com building damage is not nearly as effective as like Com building duress.
Well, we'll see how it plays out here as the game continues on, but something to be aware of as we go into mid-game. King of Masks might have a bigger power spike than most people are used to. Could catch him sleeping. Toddler looks to make another early gank opportunity here, just putting pressure on these lanes. He's not really getting kills, but it messes with your mindset when you're laning, when the jungler keeps popping up, because you just become almost paranoid that the jungler is always coming to gank, and you have to. It's something that's constantly in the back of your mind, and it might draw some focus away from what you're doing in lane.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're a jungler, you have to consider pressure as like another resource, another objective on the map. You know, you have to be putting pressure on the lanes, even if they're not successful ganks. You're getting blinks, you're getting spells, or you're just making the enemy play scared and miss CS. Then you know, you're doing your job. And so Toddler's doing a great job of just being present.
Yeah, Kindred doing what she can to just kind of farm up, get to 6 as quickly as possible. She's doing a good job. She's up. She's caught up. I mean, Toddler is not falling behind, at least for all of his ganking, though he's not getting many kills. Kindred's got about 100 more experience than him right now, but still relatively close.
Renzo is short.
Yeah, and it can become problematic if none of these ganks work out. However, you're seeing a big advantage in top lane as a result of that early gank. Nicken was very low on health, had to back, so he's down levels, 2 levels off of Pork Chop, which is a big deal. So that's gonna, you know, make it harder for him to farm and easier for Pork Chop to farm, and make it more difficult for Kindred to gank, right? Because if you come into a lane where one of your lane partners is 2 levels down, to try and gank, sometimes those ganks can get completely turned around at you 2v3. So that was definitely worth it. Bot lane, on the other hand, is still kind of losing in this Glad Com matchup, but that's not really much of a surprise. You have 2 mages against 280 carries.
Where they're just making life hell for that Gladiator Flynn up there. Just Renzo and Kenzu able to do what they want as Nicken on Flynn goes into farm. They just constantly are able to harass with the kinetic sculptures and the double knock passive. But now Toddler is here once again, and he's level 6. He's going to use his W to close the gap, uses the fear onto Gatsby. They're going in on this. He has to use his blink this time. I think he is going to survive. So a nice show of restraint from Gatsby to hold on to his blink that entire time, and it saves his life there. Now Yagachu ganking in kind, forces Corruption to blink, but the second cast of Nox Eterna will pick up the first blood.
Yeah, and there's one of the strengths of Kindred jungle is that, you know, most junglers, they want to dive at some point because, you know, it's hard to let people down lane in these short lanes, but get that reset and you're right back out, no problem, no fear of diving. You have 3 ult charges to stick to somebody, and then you can just be right back out once you get the reset. So good job by Yagachu there to just make that happen.
Yeah, and now Rattan's got to be a little careful because he's all alone. He's trying to go in onto Icy Pan. Oh, okay, that's why he was attacking Icy Pan to use Thrill the Hunt to use it as an escape. So a nice heads up. I thought he was resigning himself to death, and I'm like, why aren't you trying to kill King of Masks if you're just gonna sit there and die? But no, Rattan had a plan.
That's right.
Paid off for him.
Yeah, at first I was a little confused as well because I think he might have been able to kill King of Masks.
Yeah.
So good play from him to just play the safe route, not die. Though he did have to use his blink. So we see, is it Icy Pan?
Yeah.
As Wither? Yeah. So Wither pickup from Divs first is very powerful against Freya. When she comes into that lane, you just Withers Freya. You should stun her damage pretty hard because she's so auto attack based. There's Toddler again, top lane.
Yeah, looking for a play here. Flynn has his ultimate, so he could look for the knockups using Finest Hour, but looks like Toddler's going to go back into the jungle. Thrilling heroics to go in onto Pork Chop to pop the Nightmare proc. Good harass, but Dibs seems to be the new focus of the attention in top lane as Flynn is getting a bit tanky to make those harass not hit so much. Now, the harass not stick quite as hard. Now Yagachu looking to gank top lane, and the thrilling heroics nicely done by Nikin to prevent that gank from happening. So I don't know if he was aiming for Kindra as well. It looked like he was just aiming for Pork Chops, and Kindra walked into it, but it's okay. It was a nice play anyway.
Yeah, really, he might have gotten lucky there, but that was definitely shut down that gank pretty hard.
Weren't there more?
Yeah, and so Nikin's getting tanky. The damage from Kenzu, who is building... Oh, he's still just sitting on hunger. Yeah, he's not going to be able to shoot through that Flynn anymore, especially since he's backed. So he should have some safer farming now.
Yeah, take a quick look. Barry not leveling Dream. Oh, Yagachu goes in big, and the counter gang from Toddler. The ults come out. They're going back and forth. Toddler gets picks up Yagachu, and now Spirit Side looking to collapse here. Icy Pan stuck on the heavy iron from Tess. Primo Ratania chasing down. Will he? No, he's not going to be able to kill Dibs there.
Yeah, I think a little bit of a double click from Icy Pan there. He kind of just flew right in, right into Freya's face, but unable to save Yagachu. And good counter gank there from Ugly Toddler. Really doing a good job of showing up just in time. So I think Rattan would have been dead. We see, I think, Snitch on comm. Yeah, he's maxing eggs first, so... Oh, and W second.
Interesting.
2 points to Flourish. I wonder if that's a mistake.
It's possible.
But yeah, maxing eggs first. A lot of team fighting damage. I think it's kind of a debate between a lot of comm players about what to max first. Most of the ones I know think eggs are better.
I was always in the eggs camp as well, but once I saw some of those crazy the amount of burst you can get on Captivate if you had with all three tentacles, it really can't be denied. And now it looks like Nikin going a little bit more aggressive with some harass, but he gets stunned and can't really get the full effect of that overrun. Those Locust Beetles, and now Yagachu here, looking to make a play. The Voidbreaker comes in for Pork Chop. Here's the masterpiece from Renzo. Kindra looks to pick up the kill, which she does, and now the attention is focused onto Nikin, who uses Blink to escape underneath his binding.
Yeah, he used his ultimate to try and shut down some of the damage coming out with his... Oh, well, we got
now Toddler coming in with a gank of his own, uses the Wrath onto Snitch. The Wither comes out from Dibs, but it's not going to be enough. Toddler will pick up a kill as well.
And there we see, I think, bit late reactions from two plays right there. I think if Nikin had immediately knocked off Kindra and Pork Chop in an attempt to save Dibs, they might have escaped from that gank top lane. And likewise, if Icy Pan had withered Freya immediately before her double Q and auto attack, he might have lived. But
quick look.
It shows the importance of those quick reactions.
Yeah, you're right. Quick look at the action, or quick look at the items while we have a break in the action here. See Yagachu now with those 2 kills already has his Destruction. Pork Chop has his Ambition, as well as some other base items. Snitch getting the Aggression. Gatsby has his early Devotion Rush, which he likes to run. Icy Pan maybe looking to go for that Prosperity Duress build on Dibs. Over on the Spirit side, Rattan picking up the Betrayal for that on-hit. Corruption as the Pride. Nikin has a Glory, as well as some more tank items. Toddler has his Ambition, as well as an early Growth. And Barry going for the more offensive-oriented Dibs with the early Aggression.
Yeah, so Barry building power, even though he's in the technician room. It's cool to see that. You don't see a lot of that these days. Everyone just stacks Prosperity Duress.
Maybe a little action
with the Betrayal Rush.
But no, they don't want to focus on to Gatsby and use cooldowns on him. They want to save it for Pork Chop, but he wisely hangs out of range of harass.
Yeah, so about that Betrayal and Rattan, it looks like he's just mostly trying to shut down the Kindra damage. Not to mention he's also in lane against 2 mages, so good pickup in there.
And here comes the ganks and the team fight. Nikin is the first to drop. Dibs flied in. The Masterpiece onto Toddler as they give chase. The Voidbreaker combined with the Kinetic Sculpture gets a good bit of CC, but Toddler uses Wrath underneath the binding, and Gatsby's going to fall. He uses Blinding Speed to get to the other side of the tower. Pork Chop misses the kill shot, but Yagachu picks it up in kind. Yagachu picks up the double kill. Now they're focusing on to Tess, but I think that's going to be all for that fight. Really nice job from Porkchop and Yagachu chasing very deep and getting the kills and getting out. So
yeah, so good roam there from where did Dips fly in?
Dips flew in.
Yeah, Dips flew in. But great gank there from Yagachu, and a blink Renzo ult from Gatsby, just showing his dominance on that Shaper. He goes down under turret, but it's worse for the.
Yagachu's on the run in a bad spot, but a beautifully timed blitz saves him from the fear of Voidbreaker.
That's right, yeah, good timing on that blitz. If that had hit, he was dead, man. And blitz just so powerful on Kindred. So a bit of a lead now for Mortal Team. So far it hasn't translated into towers yet, but it likely will soon.
Look out.
Yeah, the bottom binding here down to about 20% of its health, maybe less.
And Yagachu with 4 kills on Kindra, that's never a good thing.
No. You do want to keep him somewhat under control in the early game, or it will make your mid game very difficult.
That's right. And we see second rotation of buffs, or it's actually third rotation being picked up. Now Ugly Toddler doing his power and then onto his haste. Yagachu gonna go look to start his power. We'll see what Toddler tries to do here. I think it's difficult to gank top lane at this stage because of the successful Kindred ganks, giving an item lead and experience lead to Gatsby and Porkchop, also the low damage coming out of Nikin. And there's always that threat of the Kindred counter. So I think he really has to focus his attention bot lane and try and punish that King of Mass.
Yeah, a little bit squishier down bottom, a little bit less as far as escapes go. If he times his gank well with the cooldowns on King of Masks, then, I mean, that would be the ideal situation. You don't want to go in immediately and then just get immediately snared by King. Yeah. So it's one of those things you have to be aware of when you're ganking a King of Masks lane.
Yeah, and he'll want to show up when Ratan's ult is back up and get that pick on King of Mass if he gets a little aggressive in lane, uses his W, and then just ults right in the face of Kenzu. Also, bot lane is generally just easier to gank for junglers. There's just more openings from the jungle, more places that you have to ward to defend it.
Toddler is here once again. Here come the ganks, potentially. Let's see. He uses blinding speed. He gets in, but the fear from the eggs does not allow him to cast Wrath. He was in the position to fear both of them if he was able to get it off, but the first fear came off. And oh my, the burst from Yagachu combined with the Voidbreaker allows for a quick double kill top lane, and now this lane is kind of getting out of control.
Yep. And so a little bit impatience there from Toddler bot lane. He could have sat in that push for a little while and just waited for Calm. Perhaps asked for Tan or someone to go bait out a Calm.
But he's back again. Now he gets the Wrath, and Snitch is going to die. Icy Pan got Dream Wrap going, so I think he's just going to escape underneath the binding. So they don't get 2 kills, they only get 1, but it's keeping Spirit Side in the game somewhat.
Yeah, and Corruption should not be bagging here. He should be helping pressure this turret because there's a mirror going on top. They're going to get this tier 1 binding for sure top lane, so they have to trade bottom. And they will. Toddler goes straight to the well. Very smart. But I think Corruption should be helping Rattan push this turret. It's almost dead anyway.
Might be able to get it. Oh, they're going to go for the Icy Pan here. They're going on to Dibs. He uses Reverie, and he's going to fly to safety. Now, as the rest of Mortal Side is up onto this second tier of bindings up here, Nikin and Barry are doing everything they can to save their tier 2 binding. So they do trade bindings. The Spirit Side gets some well harass as well.
Yeah, so actually pretty good trade, and good of Toddler to make that play happen bot lane while his top lane was getting absolutely obliterated.
There were more than here.
Now we'll see Nikin and Barry should probably, well, it's too late for that now. They probably should try to freeze their wave top, force top lane to rotate bot and look for team fights bot lane that they might be able to win. I'm trying to deny Porkchop some farm, but
quick look as we see some more items here. Corruption, first one to pick up Duress. Duress has been a really strong item in these in-houses. You really don't start seeing the effects until there are more than one on one team, but the power of that item cannot be understated. It is extremely strong on these ranged tacticians.
Yeah, it's really come into its own in recent weeks in Dawngate. The story, I mean, Duress has always been considered a strong item, but people, you know, they would sometimes will, sometimes not, but it's just like every game it's double duress these days, and it's just
Take them.
really highlighting how not fun that item is.
It can be a pain to deal with, but as you see there, Yagachu ganking Rattan forcing to blink away. So that will be on cooldown.
And so we're gonna see Spirit Team really focusing on this bot lane, trying to hang around down there and let Barry split push, but I'm not sure how effective that's gonna be considering they already have the tier 1 turret, they already have the well. And likewise, Mortal Team focusing on top.
Renzo is short.
Yeah, if anything, if he's going to split push, he should go
So bot lane.
bottom and let the rest of his team kind of stack up in the top, but it looks like there's going to be a fight here. Nick a little caught out on his own, forced to blink away as well as blitz, so
Armor.
Yeah, a little bit of a risky rotation there, top lane from him. And he's forced to use a bunch of his spells and his ultimate, so there's going to be a bit of a power play here from the Mortal Team, see if they can get some pressure on this turret. Probably should rotate bot to get that other tier 1, but they already have about 60% damage on this one, or 30%.
Careful.
as we move into mid game here, we'll start to see the teams starting to group a little bit in groups of 3 or 4, even 5-man roams. But as we see right now, we've got 8 shapers up in the top as the 2 solo laners here down in the bottom, as Snitch tries to take out this tier 1 binding, and Rattan does all he can to farm and protect it.
Beware.
Yeah, it looks like Spirit Team is really interested in kind of turtle mode. They're not looking to move out past Parasite, past middle of the map. Rattan just wants to farm bot, get his items on Kenzu.
They are not allowing it, and Rattan wisely backs away from the very low binding as Renzo and Dibs were collapsing.
Yeah, good rotation there from Gatsby and co. Taking advantage of the fact that Rattan is alone bot lane, and Toddler was stuck doing his haste buff to just take out that very low turret.
Heading out.
They're looking to fight here around Parasite.
Yeah, Spirit side does have the numbers for now, as 3 members of the Mortal side are coming out of base, but I don't think they were aware of that, so
Yeah, great opportunity from them there, but the lack of T4 is just unable to tell when and who is recalling when. And yeah, top lane they're just looking to take advantage of this pretty quick wave clear from Nicken with his glory and his E. Or sorry, his W. The Beetle Storm.
the overrun, yeah, the W.
Now almost in sync, they're gonna trade back their top wells, whereas Toddler's gonna continue farming the jungle. Ping down on Toddler, that's... Oh, they're pinging the well, I see.
Yeah, Kenzu looking to retake that top well as King of Masks recaptures the bottom well, so another well trade here. But now, the rest of Mortal looking to take the second well here on the bottom half of the map, and that will finally give Mortal a real econ advantage if they are able, which it looks like they will be able to capture this, no problem.
Yeah, just nobody in the bot lane able to counter that rotation. It was just Toddler by himself. So Rattan back, let's see what he picked up. He picked up his pain, so he's actually going to be pretty strong right now. And kind of a threat to Kindra, who's relies a lot on her sustain from Q.
Yeah, Toddler going in on Gatsby, but he doesn't want to commit too hard. You don't want to ever commit too hard on the tanks like Renzo, but the pain will help his team quite a bit between the shields from Renzo and Dibs and the life drain built into Kindra's kit. It's certainly a wise pick up as Corruption gets caught out here. Drops Heavy Iron. Kindra goes in looking for the resets. She gets 1. She gets 2. She's looking for 3, but Thrill of the Hunt from Rattan gets him in a nice position. They pick up Yagachu. He falls. Now Nicken and Toddler looking to give chase, but the Void Breaker from Kenzu eliminates Flynn, and a beautiful finale from Snitch on King of Masks. So Mortal side trades 3 for 1 and a big win for them here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Kindra just so Corruption just got caught out under his binding from duress from Snitch, which
Followed
really
by the
highlights the
Captivate.
strength. Yeah, really highlights the strength.
Oh, and the blinks are real. They blink in onto Rattan. He's going to drop. Now Toddler is all alone. Goodbye, Toddler. We hardly knew ye.
Killing spree. The Spirit team has been annihilated.
And a huge advantage now for Immortal Team. But yeah, so Corruption on
binding has been
with no
destroyed.
mobility spells, just once that duress hits, he's just doomed. because the damage from Snitch. Not only does he have duress, but he also has look at the items. Yeah, he also has. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, it's Icy Pan that's his duress. My bad. So Snitch doing a good job of following up on Icy Pan's duress from Dibs with his high damage King of Mass build. And when you have no ability, no dispel, it's just really hard to avoid that damage. It's pretty doomed once you hit, even though you're sitting under your turret trying to wave clear.
The Mortal team has slain the parasite.
Now the snowball starting to get big for the Mortal side as they pick up a Parasite to go along with their 7-kill advantage and their well advantage. So Mortal going to be coming up big in the economy right now. Spirit side has to look for an opportune fight, maybe bring this game back on a more even footing, but it's going to be tough for them right now.
Let's fly. Keep
Yeah,
up.
they have to come up with some way to deal with this Kendra. They have to fight when her Blitz is on cooldown. Wait for Yagashu just to overextend in the team fight, and then probably just lock her down or him down, and blow up the Kendra. So they really should be pressuring right now, knowing that his Blitz is on cooldown from that tower dive.
Kindra lying in the bush, waiting for an opportunity to strike, but doesn't want to commit too hard as Dibs flies in. Icy Pan looking to make something happen. Toddler tries to go on Yagachi, but the Voidbreaker comes in from Pork Chop, and now both Dibs have their reveries going, giving their teams big power boost. Corruption gets hit with duress. Now Toddler goes in, gets Wrath on 4 people, followed by the Heavy Iron and the Voidbreaker. Yagachu drops, which is really key. Gatsby gets a good ultimate off, knocks 3 people down. Nicken goes in on everyone. Rattan trying to give chase. Both Kenzu's using Thrill of the Hunt. Nicken now caught out a bit on his own. Looks like he's going to fall, which he will from the Vengeance. And now Mortal looking to bring it back. Forcing Barry to blink over the wall to try to escape. Spirit doing everything they can to disengage from this fight. Rattan stays for some reason, gets duressed, doesn't pick up the kill. Pork Chop is now dominating as the rest of Spirit tries to survive.
Yeah, I mean, great fight there, and great initiation, and really manning up there from Toddler. Force his team to fight, but they're just too far behind at this point to make it happen. They really had the advantage there. Yagachu did almost nothing that fight because Blitz was on cooldown. And they blew him up almost instantly. However, the shields coming out of Gatsby, he's just so tanky. And the damage coming out of Snitch, it was just too much for them. They didn't have enough damage to reply. And yeah, the snowball is real for the Spirit or the Mortal team right now. Pork Chop is huge as well.
Has been destroyed.
It looked like a nice fight at the beginning because they were able to take out Yagachu so quickly, but they just weren't able to stand up to the rest of the kiting that Mortal side could implement.
Yeah, I think if top lane hadn't been ganked so many times, if Negan was just a little bit tankier, he would have been able to tank that damage from Pork Chop and Snitch a little bit better once he blinked into the backline that fight, but he just went down too fast. Didn't give the opportunity for Rattan to finish off Dibs.
Voidbreaker from Rattan gets negated by a well-timed masterpiece from Gatsby, who really just has a knack for landing those beautiful Renzo ults. I mean, let's be honest, every Renzo ultimate is beautiful, or at least magnificent, but the masterpieces from Gatsby are truly masterful.
And now Spirit team forced to really just defensively ward here, hopefully try to catch somebody out being a little overconfident. They do have duress on Corruption, which followed up with his empowered E-Slow can really lock someone down for a long time. So they have to hope that they can catch Yagachu trying to steal a power buff or something. However, if they team fight 5v5, I don't think they have much of a chance at this point. But they're just going to turtle up, hope Rattan is able to get to his ruin ASAP. And Spirit, so we have Mortal team grouping bot. Barry's able to capture that well, which is good for his team.
Do you think he's going to go down to the bottom well or try to get back for the team fight? It looks like he's going for the bottom well as the team fight happens up top. Nick can use his finest hour, but he just can't get away from everyone else. Barry comes flying back in. Already down Flynn, though. I don't know if they're going to want to fight too hard to protect this binding. And looks like Mortal doesn't even care. They want to go in deep on this. Toddler uses Wrath. The Voidbreaker comes out for Pork Chop, but Toddler's going to drop quickly. Yagachu now looking to pick up resets. He gets one, but he drops to Rattan. But Gatsby picks up a double kill on that Renzo, using that big Renzo hammer to land those last hits. And it looks like Mortal is going to take this game.
Yeah, unfortunate there that Nicken got caught out outside of his turret. They might have had, obviously they had a much better chance fighting underneath their tier 3s trying to defend. But once he's caught out, then it's just all the swishes in the back are free for Yagachu. And unfortunately, Tyler there, he ults Yagachu while Blitz is still running, and that might have turned the fight if he got that ult off. But probably not. Poor Chuck's just got too many items under Dan. And it might have been smarter for Barry to go and take that bot well in the hopes that his team would be able to just disengage out of that 5v4 and get under their turret, but they weren't. There's just too much of a lead right now for the Mortal team.
Nicken trying to play the distraction, doing all he can, but it won't be enough. GG to the Mortal side. They're going to take this game.
Yeah, GG. 1-0 Twerp, no surprise there.
Yeah.
Well played though from everybody. Tyler did a great job of ganking bot lane over and over again. Same with Yagachu ganking top. It's funny to see how those lanes play out that way. And the smack talk from Borcho.
I know. All right, we're going to get another game started up here quickly.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that the Flynn pick was bad. I mean, I've seen it work so many times. I think it might have just been a lack of respect for the jungle ganks. But who knows? There's no denying Flynn is kind of a weak shaper right now.
All right. The game is made. Oh, no. Oh, wait, I got to remake it. I had caps on. Whoops. Quickly filling up here. Everybody wants in on the in-house hype.
I promise I won't play Flynn.
Scraggle, you want to come on over?
Yeah.
There you go.
Might be. Oh,
All right.
look at that.
Filling up quickly here. The in-house hype is real. I guess we won't waste any time, and we will get right into the Picarinos.
Yeah, I mean, this is the advantage of in-houses is there's no 15-minute queue. Let's
Yes.
do it. So you first this time.
All right. I will take the Shiv Master.
All right. I will pick. A lot of new faces this time.
Yeah.
I will pick Rattan.
All right. For my next pick, I will take Icy Pan. He did a really nice job on Dib's last game, and
Yeah. No denying that. I will pick Snitch.
all right. Snitch making that Glad King of Masks look easy. For my next pick, I will take Gatsby. Really
All right.
like the way he plays in these in-houses, so.
I'm not sure if it's a good idea to do this, but I'm going to put Rattan and Miyake on the same team. So
Haha.
I'll take Breeze Prodigy.
I like it. I will take, I'll take Barry.
All right, and I'll grab Rapier.
All right. I'll take Red Wolf. I don't want to put those RE boys on the same team. What team is that? I'm not even sure.
I forget the name, but they played in those tournaments this weekend.
Did they play the Moment of Valor or the ATG?
Both of them.
Both?
of them.
Nice.
Yeah. 2 teams actually. I think there's an EU and an NA team, so that's cool.
Ah, good for them.
Yeah, props to them, dude.
All right.
Always excited to see 5 people get together to play. And I think we're ready to go.
Yeah. Everybody looks ready, so we are going to jump right into it. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. There we go.
I am going to dodge. And there's Myanhe brandishing the Flynn pick. Already putting his teammate Rattan on tilt. Showing that dominance. See who's gonna jungle. Nobody's stepping up to the plate on the Mortal team. Rare Elixir. Okay, that's the name of RE.
Ah, okay. Now that sounds more familiar.
So, yeah, not sure if those two guys are on the same one or if they're from the NA and the EU team. Rare Elixir making their showing in the in-house.
All right. A quick overview here of the Shapers pick. We've got Shivy on Gladiator Kenzu, Ret Wolf on Tactician King of Mask, Ordinary Gatsby, Tactician Reyna, Icy Pan doing the Volok jungle, Barry on Gladiator Ashabel over on Spirit, Rattan going with the Jungle Basco, Snitch playing Gladiator McKellop, Miyane going with Gladiator Koggin, so interesting pick there. Nicken doing Tactician Dibs, and Rapier doing his Tactician Amaranth, which he is pretty well known for. I've seen Rapier do that. Tactician Amaranth to great effect in some of the solo queue games, so see if it translates over to the in-houses.
Yeah, we see Myanhe locking in that Gladiator Koggin. So similar in strength and style to the Flynn pick. A little less mobility, but perhaps more team fighting presence. More damage even.
Koggin is one of those shapers you see him the majority of the time in the hunter role, but I've always been a fan of Koggin in lane. I've played him Tactician a few times just because of I really love the amount of denial that Quicksand can give you in lane. So we'll see how it works from the Gladiator role. I don't think I've played him Gladiator before, but if he can get ahead and start getting those early tank items early on in this game, he can be a real nightmare for the other team to deal with.
Yeah, our team, Bob, has run it in tournaments in the past, closer to Koggin's
30
release.
seconds until minions spawn.
A few times, though. He usually plays bot lane, and it's been pretty successful, honestly. But the meta has kind of shifted away from that. But it was just, especially with when the regen loadouts were much stronger. It's just like it was a free lane. You know, it's just so hard to kill him. And so we see Mortal Team warding up that armor, whereas Rattan just doesn't, maybe out of fear, just doesn't go quite deep enough to get the ward of the armor, but he gets the ward of money picks. And a defensive ward on their own haste, so that perhaps they're afraid a little bit of Icy Pan doing some haste steal shenanigans level 1.
You don't see it often. It used to be a very popular jungler strategy, but still something you got to be aware of. Certain junglers like to do that haste snag, and it can really set you behind in your jungle path if you don't account for it. So, yeah,
and surprising though, because Basco is sort of considered to be a real jungle bully early on in the game. He has very high damage and mobility, and can stick to you if he comes across you being at low health in the jungle. So he doesn't seem to really want to take advantage of that this game, though. No deep wards, or perhaps his team just sort of neglected those wards. Here we see Miyane stacking those early Qs, doing a lot of damage to Gatsby on Reyna. Barry not really trading back too hard, but Miyane takes a Q there and not an even trade.
Well, it works out because the Gladiator took the majority of that trade there, whereas Tactician Gatsby was the recipient of most of the other damage, so.
Yeah. Now Nicken sniffs out, or well, obviously has the armor of steel warded, but he's not going to go attempt to contest that.
I keep the change.
And Rattan moving through the middle of the map, ignoring his own haste buff. We'll see if he goes for a haste steal or an early gank top lane.
I don't know if he was spotted on that ward. I think he...
I don't think he was.
Circumvented it, and he is going for the haste steal. So what we were talking about seems to be what's going into play here as Icy Pan comes in for the gank. They're going to go in onto Miyane here. He gets withered, it looks like, and the quicksand is down, but can he get there? No! A nice bit of... Oh no! Gatsby blinking underneath the binding, but he doesn't have enough Super aggression from Gatsby. A little shocked to see that on Reyna, but
What a man.
well, what a man.
But it's just not enough damage on Reyna, and also the dip shield. He probably should have anticipated that there was going to be a shield up, preventing that kill. But yeah, Rattan. So Rattan, knowing full well that Icy Pan was going to his armor and would not be at his own haste buff for a long time, is able to move through the middle of the map. So good heads up play from him there, so he doesn't get 4 buffs. But that quicksand did so much work, preventing Icy Pan from getting in range to use the auto attack to proc his W on Volek. Yanni would have been dead if Volek had just gotten one single auto attack off. But good placement of the sand there for him. Now Rattan heads back to his own haste buff to clear out as much as he can. Miani's still low.
Icy Pan realizing that his haste is gone, not happy about it.
Oh. Some old European rivalries here.
That's right. Those World War II rivalries still
Yep.
still strong in the Euro scene as Rattan comes in for the gank, uses Onslaught. Barry has to blink and uses a nice Storm Wall to delay or to prevent the rest of that gank.
Yeah, so very important gank there for Rattan. Now, Ashabel is relatively vulnerable to ganks already because of her lack of mobility. But now that she has no blink, Rattan is definitely going to want to show back up to that lane in the next 5 minutes. Especially to follow up with that sand on Kagan. So Barry's going to have to play very carefully not to die. And there he is. He's already positioning for another gank bot lane. However, a good ward from Mortal Team.
Gonna see
Probably
him
gonna
coming
spot
up
out
from
yeah,
Mulligans, yeah.
Exactly. Bit of an unconventional ward there, actually.
That's my spot.
They might just be so pushed up in lane that it won't even matter.
That is true. That is one thing that wards can't prevent is positioning. They can only make you aware of it, which they are now aware of it. Barry a little slow on the reaction. Gatsby doing everything he can to keep Basco off of Ashabel, but the Storm Wall is down, so now this is all on to Barry. There is the uprising, but Barry, oh, the last hit from Dibs, but Gatsby will pick up Basco in an exchange, so a 1-for-1 trade. They lose the Gladiator from the, on the Mortal side, but Spirit loses a Jungler, so relatively even trade.
A bit of a slow follow-up there from Dibs Kagan. Not taking advantage of Rattan's positioning behind Barry, but they did have a bit of a mini-wave to walk through. But I think if they had followed up quicker, they might have prevented the death there from the unnecessary death from Rattan there. Let's look at the CS. How's Snitch matching up to Chivy?
Chivy in the lead. Snitch
but
not
for
too
CS.
far behind.
Ret Wolf doing a good job of zoning out that Amaranth, keeping her low on health and feeling scared. Definitely a bit of a skill matchup there between Amaranth and Calm Tactician. Amaranth definitely with the higher damage, but Calm obviously with a little bit more mobility and lockdown. If you catch one of those captivates and you're locked down, it's easy for Kenzu to get that double auto attack up on you for free.
Now Rattan sneaking in with a nicely timed gank, forcing Chivy to blink out. Rapier misses the title prison. If he was able to land that, I think they would have been able to pick up King of Masks, but no dice.
Yeah, especially with the Mikhail ult to follow up, most of them would have died. But he's got pots, so he's going to be back up to full health in no time. A lot of damage coming down on Nikin.
Yeah, they seem to be focusing on to the squishier Dibs as opposed to trying to harass down that big beefy Kagan.
But Kagan keeping up with Barry and CS, 52 to 53. So really nothing lost there. And we'll see who's able to outscale who. Whether that tanky presence and team fighting presence of Kagan, or the siege potential Ashabel will really put pressure on this game. It's going to be advantageous for Mortal Team to avoid team fights for a while for sure. And the junglers working on their second rotation. Rattan just finishing his case. Icy Pan currently on his. A little bit different because of the buff steals that occurred. Level 2 and 3. Rattan likely going to continue to pressure the spot lane, knowing Asheville Blink is still on cooldown.
Yeah, he's on that side of the map, looking to position his way around there. We'll see if he can make it happen.
Icy Pan's going to get spotted out here by Ward.
Yep. It's so amazing to watch other people play Volek, and then you watch when like Donlu or like Yagachu plays Volek. It's just like I don't see Icy Pan doing anything differently than those other guys, but it's like it just seems when certain people are on certain shapers, they're able to take it to another level, and guys like Donlu and Yagachu can do that on Volek. So it's just kind of interesting to see the difference between play styles. And just how those guys with all of that experience on that shaper just know how to be in the right place at the right time no matter the situation.
Hold him back.
Yeah, it's difficult for him, I think, to make anything happen bot lane. Although, one thing you'll notice about, you know, guys like Donlu, Yagachu, Cuss, you know, experienced junglers, they dive a lot. Because they know their power spikes, they know how much they're able to tank, and if their lane is winning, and winning enough to dive, so... Perhaps people who aren't familiar with jungling and don't do it very often, they're just don't have that confidence level, you know?
Yeah, just don't have that knowledge in the back of their mind. Like, I know I can kill this person and get away safely, so.
Yeah, I think Icy Pan, because of the kind of the low health bot lane and the being pushed under the turret constantly, Icy Pan definitely could have made some things happen under turret bot lane.
Both junglers being spotted out by wards here now bottom.
And also, the Volek is a very good counter ganker.
Yeah.
So it takes some experience and knowledge of the jungle to try and anticipate where your opponent is looking to pressure and looking to gank, and just be in position to walk into lane. And you know, once Rattan has used his double jump, he's super vulnerable to the damage from Yagachu, or Yagachu Volek.
Yeah. Rattan looking to make something happen in the top lane here, but doesn't quite have the angle.
Take another look at the CS. Shivy and Snitch still very close, 96-92.
Rapier opens up the fight with the Riptide, lands the bubble combo, but I don't know if Rattan can give chase that far underneath the binding, knowing that Shivy still has Voidbreaker up and he does not want to get feared and die.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to ult that comm, but I think he knew the risk of being under turret, especially considering Volek is not on the map currently. And if Volek walks out of that bush to the side of the turret, he's done for. But Reyna rotating up to try and counter some of the aggression, but just has to go back bot lane because nothing really happened.
I keep the change.
And
Gatsby
again,
and
CS
Nicken.
is close bot lane.
Where'd they go?
Having a tactician fight.
Sort of the opposite of the man fight.
Yeah,
It's more like the wet noodle fight.
it is.
Now we see Icy Pan going top. He's looking to get a ward there on
I think we lost track of stuff.
the stones. I thought he might be going to power, but I think he realizes he's a little, probably in vision. He's a little scared.
Yeah, he got spotted out on those wards as well.
Consume.
But he definitely knows that
Spirit
Rattan's
binding
power up
has
is coming up
been
in about 30
destroyed.
seconds here.
I keep the change.
Rapier trying to use Wave Rider to position to land those skill shots, but Shivy and Ret Wolf are just so cognizant of it. They always seem to just miss that tidal prison, negating Amaranth's full combo.
Yeah, he's not just not really taking advantage of that the high damage from Amaranth Tactician because of her just extreme base damage. He's got to land those
Vasco.
bubble Qs.
Vasco is looping underneath, but King of Mass spotted him out on a ward, and
There were more here.
I think he got that much. He's doing a little bit of sneaky counter jungling there.
The Captivate lands. It's empowered. Rapier counters with a Riptide. Kenzu uses Voidbreaker, but does not find its mark. And now the rest of Spirit is rotating as well, maybe looking to dive underneath this binding, but they don't quite have the minion wave. And that binding is pretty healthy considering, so I don't know if this is necessarily really wise. Gatsby here, in a show of force, goes underneath the binding to let them know that, hey, this won't be that easy to dive, boys.
Yeah, and really what we have here is a very low kill game so far. Usually it's much more of a bloodbath by now.
Yeah, that's for sure. That game that made the highlight of last night was pretty ridiculous in that regard, but fun to watch. Anyway, Snitch gets a little caught out here. The Finale and the Drain are going to tick him down. Rattan is there in position looking to give chase. Maybe will he go for the onslaught on Shivy? No, he won't. Or the uprising, I should say. And maybe he could have ulted and killed Kenzu there, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think a bit of a slow reaction from him. Could have just gone right in as soon as they got that Captivate down and protected Makela, but maybe he just didn't expect the amount of damage coming out of that combo from Shivy and Snitch, or Shivy and Com. And Ret Wolf just landing all these Captivates. Real stark contrast to the Bubble Stream Amaranth.
Heading that way.
And here's Dibs flying up to come along with the rotate. Now they have the advantage. Shivy gets out of dodge with a blink, and it looks like Red Wolf is all on his own, and he will drop from the exploding bubble from Rapier.
That's a good rotation there from bot lane. However, Barry's able to pick up bot tower in their absence.
Yeah, Barry's just been kind of down in bottom lane farming it up. He's up to 126. He's got his destruction already. So starting to get strong here as we see the Shapers picking up their first couple tier 3 items.
Yeah, we see Rattan going his patented form Ambition Vasco build. Very proud of that. And Icy Pan mirroring with an Ambition form Volek build. Form not exactly the best item on Volek. He doesn't spam enough, I think. But still powerful. We'll see what he looks to pick up after that. He's going to need some HP for sure. Barry's already hitting his Destruction Power Spike with 131 CS. He's holding up well in that lane.
Shivy trying to bait Snitch into a fight, but Icy Pan walks over a brush that has been warded, so that will be it for that gank attempt.
Yeah, and Miyane is just going to be super tanky at this stage of the game with that Might and Prosperity.
Oh, Gatsby with the Blink Wisdom's Reach. The Voidbreaker hits max range onto Rapier, but he Wave Riders out of most danger. They haven't been able to really hit him with much, and the Riptide interrupts the rest of that gank. So a really nice reaction from the Spirit side, baiting out 2 Blinks and a bunch of ults and not really giving Mortal anything for their troubles, so...
Yeah, Barry making highlight of what I was just about to say. He did not hit a single Asheville Q, so really low damage there, follow-up. But I think also Shivy needed to probably ult a little bit sooner. You really have to have quick fingers with Kenzu ult if you're going to follow up on something like a Reina Hammer or Calm Captivate, because those CCs don't last that long.
No, now Miyane with a blink. Oh, the nicely timed blitz from Icy Pan does not allow the big haul to bring him underneath the binding. So, again, well-timed use of abilities, preventing deaths here.
The ultimate counter to Kagen Hook right there is we've seen twice already today. Well-timed blitz just shuts that spill down completely. Now we're gonna have a 3. Oh, they're gonna back off and just kind of head back bot lane to protect that turret.
Yeah, Kagen and Dibs looking to make a play. They put the ward in the brush so they know the enemy is approaching, but not a whole lot of damage onto that binding still. Just Kagen and Dibs not able to do a whole lot to the binding while other people are in the vicinity, so...
Yeah, not a whole lot of damage coming out from Kagen and Dibs in terms of auto attacks.
Oh, Shivy uses Dispel nicely. Almost takes out Snitch in the process as Rattan is ganking bottom. Gold Blitz is coming down. We see the Quicksand as well. So a 3-on-3 fight here. Wrath of Heaven comes down. Icy Pan looking to give chase onto Nick, and here's the damnation. Now they are running down. Rattan uses his Blitz. Oh no! Oh. What? Dibs used his ultimate and tried to fly away, but Gatsby followed pretty well. Barry ends up picking up Kagen.
Yeah, so there you go. Great counter gank there from Volek. Once Rattan has used all of his mobility skills, he just is forced to sit into that Volical.
A spirit binding has
Until they
been
come off
destroyed.
cooldown. Another thing I want to highlight there is you have to auto attack his Kage because that restores his focus, I believe it's called.
Yes.
Or energy. It's focus.
Focus.
And if you don't, you just run out of energy. You can't, or focus. You can't Q anymore. And Miani, even though he was walking alongside Reyna there and sort of running around in the middle of that team fight, he wasn't auto attacking, so he immediately ran out of focus and only really got 2 Qs off.
Uh-oh, I think Icy Pan might be in some trouble here, and he will drop the Stitch. The Wisdom Reach comes in from Reyna to interrupt the rest of the gang, and a nice job to pick up Rattan in the process. Now Nicken is trying to escape, but Asherbell is there, uses a nice Storm Wall to knock him back towards his team, and they pick up the kill. So a 2-for-1 trade. Volok for Dibs and Basco, so positive exchange for the Mortal side.
Good defense of that haste buff, but they get a little greedy after killing Icy Pan and try to follow up with the reset, but
Now looking
perhaps
to
they
make
didn't
play
move it
onto
off.
Gatsby, who is caught in a rough spot, but he is doing all of his time. Miani uses Big Haul and brings Red Wolf into the fray as well. The finale from Red Wolf collapses Amaranth and Mikella, and Mortal side is able to escape.
yeah, and Gatsby just tanked so much damage.
He did.
Showing the strength of Reyna shield.
We
That
saw Gatsby
straight
doing
percent
this
defense.
last night on Reyna. See, as he maxes that Bastion of the North after his Shockwave, and he just can mitigate so much damage with that ability. As you saw, he was basically standing in the middle of all 3 Shapers and was able to walk away scot-free, so.
Yeah, so definite advantage now for the Mortal team. They're up 2 turrets and 1 kill. It's 19 minutes so far. There's been no aggression on the well. Actually, no, they did take pot well. My bad. As a follow-up to that team fight, so a big economic advantage. But there's been no posturing for Parasite yet. But probably see some of that from Mortal side now that they have a clear item advantage.
I must withdraw.
We'll see what Spirit Team's able to do to counter that well top or well bottom. They have to do something. They have to get one of these turrets down. Probably bot turret.
This will tax you.
And some good deports coming out from Mortal Team. You got Calm warding up the double rocks up near power buff, and then they have a ward in the haste area, which is really gonna just spot out all the rotations coming down from bot lane to any of the aggression top lane. Now we see Iceman just farming up some more, and Gatsby just continuing to be really aggressive.
I mean, even with those empowered, oh my! The Wisdom's Reach comes down, Mikella has to use it to dispel, but Gatsby still giving chase, he's relentless on that Reyna.
That blink Reyna though.
You know, I see Rattan here looking to position himself in behind the enemy team. Shivy gets knocked out, or pulled in with a really big haul, but he's gonna blink to safety.
Yeah, so Dispel and Blink used there for Shivy, so he gets out alive, but he's going to be very vulnerable to these Kaged hooks and the Basco. We'll see if they look to team fight, if Spirit Team looks to team fight again while trying to
The
defend their
mortal
turret here.
team has captured a well.
And
So, 4-man.
Ashevel's just going to be so annoying here in these sieges. This
Yeah.
is really the strength of this pick.
Yeah, Asherbell and Kenzu, and King of Masks too. Just you're not even safe underneath your binding with the mobility that those shapers, the range those shapers have. So
Yeah, we were making in our team chat, we're making a tier list of sieging tacticians. Ashevel and Calm are definitely at the top of the list.
it's the advantage that King of Masks kind of has over Amaranth, the fact that he can dash twice. He can dash once underneath to get in range for his ability, and then dash to safety. Amaranth, when she dashes, although it's a little bit longer range, she can only do it once. So if she dashes forward, that leaves her vulnerable to the counter engage, and that's one thing you have to be careful as an Amaranth player.
Yeah, she's a very linear mage in that respect, just pretty much all in. Her damage is definitely higher, so if she's able to hit that bubble Q combo, it can be really dangerous, especially if she has her items, but she's just not as annoying as King of Masks. I mean, King of Masks can slide in, put Fear Eggs behind the binding, or to the side and just completely prevent positioning of the AD carry to hit those creeps as they come under the turret.
Tax you.
Now we see the pings coming down on a Parasite. Mortal side does not want Spirit to sneak this while they are going back to shop. But it looks like they're going to be content to just try and get some of these wells back and prevent this 4-cap.
For Simiane, they're able to take back one of their wells, but they lost top well to Icypan pretty much for free. They were all stuck trying to defend their binding bot lane. Icypan was able to just roam around the map, taking all the jungle and that well. So it's really up to the Mortal team or the Spirit team to make some plays here. They have to really man up their way back into this game. You can't. In Dawngate, it's really difficult to truly just turtle because you just kind of lead out these objectives.
Yes.
That you can't defend on the map because you have no map pressure. So they got to look for picks. They got to look to take advantage of Icypan just walking around farming everything. They have to look for the 4v5s or the one person they can catch out with that Kagen hook. It's all about the playmaking.
Oh, Miyane goes fishing and comes up empty. And the Riptide from Rapier comes down, but he's eating a lot of harass for...
Yeah, just not a good trade there. He uses his ultimate in exchange for more damage to himself.
Yeah.
Just no follow-up on this on that Riptide. So now, Spirit team down there, two most important team fighting ultimates, and it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's tough, and meanwhile Asherbell just firing long-range artillery from the back line. As you can see, the poke. Spirit team is really feeling the effects of this siege here.
Pay attention.
Yeah, we'll see. See if they look to dive. I don't think they have to. They can just kind of get this turret out of attrition.
Yeah, I
see
mean,
the
look, oh
damage
my God.
that they're forced to take while trying to just clear the waves.
Asherbell is just able to land every Gale she wants. It's just, she sees where these Shapers want to be when they want to skip that CS. Just throwing down those Gales, not allowing them to get anything for free.
Yeah, so we're likely just going to see kind of a slow bleed of objectives here from the Spear team. Tier 2 tower's going to go down, and they're going to position for Parasite.
Yep.
Oh, no, Haste Buff first. I support this decision. Haste Buff is life.
Well, now Spirit side's pinging Parasite. Maybe they want to catch Mortal as they try to start it. If they started here, Pasco is up at the power buff, so they don't have to worry about the Vanquish steal, but I don't know if it's necessarily the wisest choice.
Gatsby looking for that ultimate.
Oh, if he had some friends nearby, he would definitely have gone in on Mikella, but he's just going to do his job and try and act as a scout and maybe a deterrent for anyone coming to walk by Parasite and look to maybe potentially steal it. But Mortal's going to get it without any contesting.
The Mortal team has
Contesting?
slain the Parasite.
I feel like when Gatsby has his blink off cooldown, it's just like there's an on switch flipped on for him. It's just like, I'm going forward and no one will stop me.
I have a big shield. I'll be fine.
Yup. Yeah, so no contest there for that Parasite. Spirit team knows that they would likely lose that 5v5. And they're just going to get stuck under their tier 3, protecting against the siege, desperately trying to wave clear, hoping for a foolish dive from the Mortal team.
Yeah, they've been really patient though, Mortal. They haven't really gone for it too heavily here. They don't want to give. I mean, even though Mortal is in pretty good control of this game, it's only 5-4 as far as kills are concerned. Granted, they've had the econ advantage for the majority of this game. It's not quite as ridiculous as it would seem. It's really just by virtue of these sieges and this poke that Asherbell is giving them that they seem to be coming out ahead on all of these fights. Kagen missing another big haul.
Drinking so much.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. That's really their one hope. But I think all the blinks and dispels are up for Mortal team anyway. Big haul really falls, and blitzes like Big haul just really
Yeah,
falls
literally
off the tower.
every single spellbook ability is off the cooldown for Mortal side, but here maybe is it engaged? No.
Yeah, you see Mortal team being much more brave and auto-attacking that turret, knowing the Kagen hook is on cooldown. They were in like a 4-man line right there. It was perfect.
And yeah, that's really what Spirit side, they need a big haul followed up by a Riptide from Amaranth, and then maybe they could come out ahead on one of these team fights. But unless they're able to pull something like that off, they're just going to keep, you know, like you said, they're just going to keep kind of like bleeding out objectives here as they try valiantly to protect this tier 3 binding. But
the additional thing to note is that with Parasite being down, Mortal Team has Striders pushing that top wave, and there's already a big Strider wave hitting that tier 2 turret.
yep,
And Gatsby just doesn't give a single fuck. It just
does not give much. And as the ults come down as well, Damnation from Volok uses Blitz. Meanwhile, Rattan goes in, but a nice stasis from Ret Wolf. Rattan will drop. Barry picks up another kill.
A spirit binding has
and tier
been
2 pretty much
destroyed.
goes down purely from Strider damage. So that, I mean, that's one way to bait a team fight.
Oh, the
It's
Blink Wisdom's Reach, but the Dispel combined with the Tidal Prison and Binding Shots allows Gatsby to fall. Yeah, but you cannot fault him for his aggression. He's been consistent with his behavior all game long.
Yeah, well, I mean, his Blink's on cooldown now, so he'll be a little more passive for the next 5 minutes. And once it's up again, look for the same kind of stuff. And that tier 3 is going to go down.
There's the big haul that gets 2 people, but the Binding drops before they can really do anything with it. Miane has to burn Blitz to get away.
Yeah, unfortunate timing there. If that Binding was still up, it might have been able to bring down Volek, but even then.
Only our hero could save the day.
Yeah, and I very much agree with Shibby. These low action siege games are not exactly the most fun. Although there is a bit of excellence to watching good rotations and good map movements.
Yeah, it's just a different style of game, kind of showing that, you know,
Yeah.
we can have those in crazy kill fests like we had last night as, Red Wolf in a bit of trouble here trying to harass that well. Looks like Rattan will be able to pick him up, which he does, bringing the
Rattan is
kills
on the
even.
board. Yeah.
Remain calm.
So that's going to give perhaps a bit of an opportunity for the Spirit team to get out into their jungle, get some wards out, get some of that jungle farm. They were already able to capture one of their wells. But probably not do much more than that.
Devour. This will tax you.
However, what usually happens here, so for players on the Mortal team, when you have this much of an advantage, the tier 3s are down, and you've just recalled to base after successfully pushing turrets, you can look, there's only one Mortal team ward on the map, and it's in a pretty poor position. And they're all just wandering around pretty much for free thinking they're invincible. So this is the point of the game. The Spirit team needs to be out on the map looking for picks, looking for overconfidence, looking for people to just step out in unwarded areas to get those kills, which can then translate into captured wells. Because those wells in the backside of Mortal Team's side of the map right now are worth a ton of Vim for the Spirit team. They've just been stacking Vim all game.
Yeah, they really have.
31 minutes worth. So,
And I mean, like, look at this. Look at Shivy. He's up by himself, all alone. But Rattan, I mean,
completely unwarded.
I don't think he can give chase by himself. I think Shivy is just too strong to solo at this moment. But I mean, if Amaranth came along with him and they knew Shivy was up there by himself with no one else around, I mean, that was an opportunity for them to really swing
Absolutely.
momentum.
Yeah, you have to be looking for picks. However, the mindset of a lot of players when they're in this position is to just sit under the Guardian and for 5v5 team fights with a good laser. But people have gotten so good at avoiding that laser and taking their team fights correctly.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a pipe dream, but we'll see what they're able to do. I mean, we've seen plenty of those throws before.
We have. As Mortal side presses into the base, looking to destroy these cores here. They take out the Nugget Factory.
And the problem with defending these cores is it's very similar to the bindings. There's just, you know, if they position to try and get a hook, if they position to try and do some poking of their own, they're just going to eat Asheville Qs all day trying to defend like these bubble core. And, you know, they really have to just kind of get that lucky hook. Perhaps, I think Amaranth should definitely be playing more aggressive looking for those ultimates on Shivy. But she's already forced to use her blink.
Get away, and the Spirit side just they just can't stop the bleeding here.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just so far behind. It's a ton of global bin. It's not kills, it's just a global bin.
It really is. Taking those wells and being able to protect them all game long, and just the immense amount of siege that they have. Miane gets snared down underneath the binding, and Icy Pan goes in along with the Wisdom Reach from Rain, and they pick up 1 kill. Looking to go for more Rapier as the title Wave Rider out to safety, and now Spirit side is just kind of trying to heal and get back into this fight. Rattan picks up King of Masks, misses the recast on his uprising. Dibs flies down to trap Icy Pan and grab a kill there. Nick and Will fall for it. Gatsby blinking away. Will the bubble be enough? No, but the waltz and the auto from Mikella will be. Asherbell's ult comes down as Shivy picks up a double kill.
A mortal player.
Bit of a comeback there, but it kind of fizzles out as they chase a little bit too far into Barry and Shivy.
Shivy,
Snitch getting up.
Snitch going up big, but Shivy too strong.
Yeah, he hits his kill shot E, and that was just enough damage to finish him off. I think that's gonna be game.
I think so, as well as maybe the blink and the storm wall to get styled on in the last moment of the game as Mortal Side takes this win.
I mean, when else to do the big plays than the second before the Guardian dies?
That's right. That's what everybody knows. All right, so a nice methodical win for the Mortal side. They systematically destroyed the morale, the bindings, and then the base of the Spirit side. So we'll see how the next game plays out here.
Poor Rattan already blaming the Gladiator or tank pick.
Of course.
Once again, last game it was Flynn, this game it's Kagan. I mean, it didn't perform too badly in lane. It's just they got kind of outganked a bit.
Get the tunes back on here. You want to give City the password if you have him on your friends list, friend?
Let's see, too.
Oh, it's already full. Oh no, it's not. I'm over here.
I actually don't have City on my misses. It's just too small.
I know. It's a struggle.
We're looking for one more.
Uno más. Tul's not going to play. He's just going to spectatorino.
That's right. I'll be right back real quick, Twerp. Get some coffee.
Yeah, I'm going to grab a drink as well.
Sounds good.
Let's do it. All right. Once Scrag gets back, we will pick these teams and continue on with the in-house fun times.
All right, let's do this.
All right.
I'll be first pick this time. I will pick. I will pick. City.
Oh wait, Barry just backed out. Moved over.
Oh, Barry.
Oh, okay. Cuss is in.
Oh,
that
I'm gonna
change?
pick Cuss.
Oh, you're gonna
Yeah,
take
I'm gonna
Cuss?
pick Cuss.
All right. I will take City.
Oh, boy. And I will pick. I will pick Shitty.
All right. I'm gonna go with Gatsby.
Solid choice.
I'm just loving the way he plays. So
If you want plays made, that's who you gotta go to. I will pick Snitch.
I will take Ret Wolf.
All right. Go with Mianhe,
All right. I'll take Rattan.
and I'll take Rapier.
All right. We are good to go.
All right, and while they pick, I just have to be right back. One more second.
Okay. No problem. Alrighty. We see Rattan going, picking first on the Gladiator Faris. Nicken goes with Gladiator Varian. Over on the Mortal side, Shivy with Gladiator Vex. And Korea's Prodigy going with Gladiator Fenmore. I haven't seen a whole lot of Fenmore in these in-houses, so this will be nice. A little Petrus on City maybe out of the jungle, or looks like he's going to go on to Salus. Maybe Volek. Ret Wolf going with Tactician Asherbell this game as opposed to Barry's Gladiator Asherbell last game. Gatsby showing his versatility on the support shapers, going with Viana this game. So interesting to see. Rapier not adhering to the gentleman's agreement, but that's okay by me. Rapier's going with the Sakari Tactician. Snitch on King of Mass Tactician. Cuss locks in Salus as well as City. So here we go.
All right, I'm back, and yeah, so 2 Sal's picks. Sal's Mirror. What fun. A lot of action on the map on the aspect. See, Gatsby on Viana, huh?
Yeah, I was saying before, I don't know if you were back in time, but I was just showing his versatility on all of the support type shapers, just kind of rolling through all of them. At first it was Renzo, then Reyna, and now Viana. So let's see if his Viana is as up to par with his Reyna and Renzo, but I have a feeling Gatsby will bring the thunder.
We are certainly going to see a Blink Viana ult this game.
Yes.
That's exciting.
And you know what? Not a whole lot of different ways to break that suppression. I mean, you're going to have to get an empowered Endless Delights from King of Masks, or Salus would have to use his stun, because I don't think his snare interrupts that suppression.
No, it does not. He would have to use his ultimate.
So unless Rapier wants to use his ultimate, or Cuss wants to use his, it's going to be up to Snitch to use those empowered Endless Delights. So this Viana pick could pay dividends in this game.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the Fear Eggs from Snitch, so he's, they're going to have to see some heads-up play from those 2 Tacticians players and countering that Viana ult.
30 seconds until
Also,
minions
Pain is
spawn.
going to be hugely important for the, see, they are the Spirit team.
Both Rare Elixir boys playing King of Masks.
They've got that crazy performer thing going. And Myanhe with the Fenmore pick, one of his all-time favorite picks, or shapers, I believe. Really fallen out of the meta lately, but Myanhe's certainly one to always try and make things work.
Uh-oh, Nikin in a bit of trouble early on here, forced to
Minions
blink
have spawned.
thanks to the perpetual slow on that Sakari Ice Lance.
Yeah, so already we see an advantage for the Mortal team in the top lane. And that's very dangerous when you're against the Sakari, not to have your blink up. Because, you know, once you start stacking those Qs, if you're overextended in lane, not a burst damage. Everyone's experienced that. So we see a mirrored power start for the two Saluses. However, Cuts with a superior knowledge of the enemy jungler because of that ward on armor. And also a... Well, actually, that's a... Oh, I see. He has haste ward. A defensive ward on armor for the Spirit team. Yeah, and there's that Sakari doing work in lane.
Just like a machine. In the way that Ashabel is like the long-range artillery shaper, Sakari is like that machine gunner with the LMG just laying down suppressing fire everywhere she goes.
That's a good way to put it, suppressing fire. Until it kills you in one shot.
Yeah.
Then it's, I guess, killing fire.
Yeah, then it's just a kill shot.
Yeah, a kill shot.
She loads up that kill shot with the shatter after getting all the stacks from the Ice Lance.
So, mirrored full clears coming out here for the Saluses. Cuss is going to spot out City doing his haste buff in just a moment here, so he's going to know that there was no armor invade on his own armor buff. Both Saluses are going to be pretty comfortable clearing out their mushroom camps. However, bot lane, we see the pressure in favor of Rattan and Wolf. And Nikin just already incredibly low on health in this lane. It's going to be very difficult for him to farm effectively when sitting on that much HP with his pot already used.
King of Masks laughing at his counterpart. There really should be like a special interaction for like King of Masks in mirror matches.
Yeah. I would love to write the voice acting for this game.
Uh-oh, Nikin's got to be careful. Ooh, one more Ice Lance would have surely spelled doom for Nikin on Varian, but he uses Progress Gate to avoid it.
Yeah, this is just disastrous for the Spirit team top lane. Their Gladiators going to be incredibly far behind in farm. However, Rattan going big bot lane. Drain comes out.
Not going to be enough, and now Miyane is there, and Rattan is going to drop for it. First blood goes to Miyane on Fenmore, using his Shark, I guess in this case, to mitigate some health, and he gets a double kill, the late Tailwind. So that Gladiator Fenmore doing work, but City is here with the Judgment, picks up Snitch. He's going to go for two, but I don't think he has the cooldowns to take Miyane. He doesn't.
So heads up play there from him to take advantage of the fact that bot lane was spamming GG instead of paying attention to their wards.
Yes.
However, that 2v0 is definitely going to have a huge impact on that lane. It's so important for Ferris to get ahead early and get those early level 3, level 4 kills in lane. If he's behind, it's very hard for him to do that, especially against a Fenmore who has that sustain and has that shield.
A mortal player has been slain.
Okay, smart camera. Sure, we didn't need to see that.
What?
I don't know. Apparently, Fenmore died somehow. I guess City did something.
Nice.
But it happened so quickly that the camera didn't pick it up, so sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, so he's going to have a big lead in the jungle. However, Cuss is looking for a dive up here top lane. This is really going to make or break this top lane if this dive is successful. He recognized Nikin being low in health. Go up there. Yeah, Nikin's already down to 60% health after just getting back to lane. And they are far behind the wall.
Okay, all right. The camera takes us up there. Cuss goes in with the Judgment, going in onto Nick, and he's trying to run back underneath this binding as Shivy eats binding shots. Shivy lives through the level up off the kill on Nikin, so calculated? I don't know. But either way, Vex will live and Varian will die. And the dive from Kuss is
Shivy's
successful.
just gonna recall and put his Protector back in his pocket.
Someone
And
steals the eye.
a bit of a questionable play to walk back to the tier 1 binding there from Nikin. Probably if he had kept running to his tier 2, he might have gotten away out of range of the Vex autos. Oh, but Cuss camping this bush.
Catching Rattan, who uses flashback. Oh, and the recast. Try and get away, but the slow off Captivate might be enough to catch him. I don't think they're going to get there. Maybe another Judgment Q from Cuss, but he's out of range for it. He decides not to throw. Rattan is going to recall.
Enemies missing. Find them.
Yeah, unfortunately that Captivate did not land to hit a creep. It would have
Yeah.
been pretty amazing if he snuck it through those creeps. So Rattan able to get away.
One thing that is overlooked often on Fenmore is his free snare cleanse on his W ability, that unyielding march. So it really negates a lot of the CC that King of Mass brings to the table, unless he uses the fear. But yeah, Captivate's not going to be super effective against Fenmore with that W off a cooldown.
Yeah, it's funny how in the Shape Reveal today you had so many people crying OP about the dispel, but Fenmore's pretty much had a snare dispel this whole time. Granted, it's not a hard dispel. I just think it's funny because if you look at Fenmore's kit from a distance, it seems like it'd be incredibly OP, but he's a very unfavorable pick currently in competitive.
Yeah, Bub. I mean, we see Biane. He's doing, showing that Fenmore can be effective in the right hands.
Yeah,
Off to a pretty decent start.
it's good. It's actually a really good counter to the Salus and the Calm, because Captivate lands, he can cleanse that. He can also cleanse the Salus E.
That laugh spam down in bottom lane.
I wish, I just wish we still had Puppy Magic doing the Desecrator last spam. Those were the days. That's the best laugh. But we see a bit of a turnaround here top lane with the lane switch. Rattan is going to be able to do a lot of damage.
Going in onto Rapier, but uses a nice recast of flashback to avoid the avalanche.
I think the avalanche actually
Or hit,
missed.
yeah,
I
it
think that
doesn't.
hit,
Yeah, it doesn't, unless it lands directly on you.
He would have been in serious trouble if that ult had hit directly in the middle.
Yeah.
A bit of a misplay there from Snitch. However, so again, Rattan with a smart lane swap, he's going to be able to put a lot more pressure on this Vex and Sakari due to their immobility. And you can already see a complete turnaround on this top lane in terms of pressure.
But Cuss is here, lands the Judgment onto both of them. The blink, but he is able to close the gap with the second cast. The stun will spell doom for Gatsby as Rapier picks it up. Now Miane looks to be in a bit of trouble. He uses Ravenous Pack, but they actually pick up Nikin, but Snitch seems to be DC'd.
Let him go!
Team killing spree.
There is no mercy in this dojo.
Spirit.
No mercy at all.
A spirit player is relentless.
Report for BM.
Sweep the leg. City follows the code.
Rattan going hard on Shivy here, but Rapier's still there, so he's not going to be able to do much with that. But yeah, big play there from Cuss. A lot of people, they spam their Q on Salus, so they hit 2 targets, and they end up using both of them prematurely. But because he still had a Q on Rattan, he was able to follow Gatsby's blink and lock him down for the kill.
Stay, Hindleggers. Stay.
It's okay. Spirit team would have done the same. You think Miane would have had mercy? I don't think so.
Exactly.
Lost sight of one.
It's easy to play the victim when it happens to you.
Yep. It's ironic because I was in a game with Tulsa this morning where they dove 2 of my teammates under turret when they were both DC'd and I was salty. I was like, really, guys?
I always try to live by the no mercy code.
Well, you live by it, you die by it.
That's right. Meanwhile, Cuss here trying to shut down Rattan, and they do. Rapier picks up another kill on Sakari. Already with that prosperity, so he's getting really tanky to go along with Sakari's Black Ice passive, which gives her armor.
And I think Cuss might want to recall here. I'm not sure though. His B key is broken.
Yeah, that must be it.
That must be it. And he's just got full dominance now over this Mortal side jungle, or Spirit side jungle. And so he's just gonna walk in and grab all these camps. Meanwhile, City doing
Snitch trying to catch Nicken from behind. Oh, the finale does land at the max range, but the avalanche is a little off, but Shatter will be enough to finish that. Meanwhile, Gatsby stuck in a 2v1, and he will fall as well.
This game is quickly just getting out of control.
Yeah, Mortal side really starting to apply serious pressure to Spirit, getting some nice picks here. Now City going in on Cuss, who's caught in that bush. Final Protocol comes out. There's the ultimate. He tries to blink away. He looks like he's going to survive. Fenmore dies.
And just so much hesitation there from Rattan to commit onto that pick. If he had been in melee form using his auto attacks, Cuss would be dead right now. But he just was too scared to go into that bush. Probably fearful of the Talus counter ultimate and getting stunned.
Rattan goes in there onto Snitch. He's going to drop from Drain, actually. Shivy giving chase, but the binding doing work, but he blinks out of range to prevent his death. So a nice play from Shivy. Pick up another kill.
Knowing he could continue that tower dive and his blinks up to get out of tower range and survive that last auto attack. So good stand for that counter aggression, but he's punished for it. And so now we see Mortal Team, they're going to do some recalling, get their items spiked from all these kills that they've got.
City doesn't get the good bounce, and we see the unyielding march completely negate the snare from Salas.
That's right. Highlighting that counter pick there. And now Mortal Team, they've picked up their items. They're going to be looking to pressure some bot binding and the wells, which will be opening up in about 2.5 minutes here. We'll see how well they're able to use their advantage and if Spirit Team is able to counter it with some picks. Shivy is still extremely vulnerable right now to the Viana ultimate because he does not have his blink up. We'll see if Gatsby and Nicken are able to take advantage of that. However, we have Rome from King of Mass.
He lands the... Oh no, he missed the fear. Gatsby uses Exsanguinate, and they're going to focus onto Shivy, which they will get, but Viana will fall as well. But Spirit side looks to have the advantage in this fight as Snitch and Rapier are on the run. I don't see any icebergs come down. There they are. Now Kuss is here, looking to give chase. City follows with the judgment, but a nice empowered flourish. Endless Delights will fear him off. City will drop. Now Rattan is here. The final protocol goes off, and Salas will drop. Snitch just misses the Celerity Shell. He is going to try to escape this. Uses Flourish, throwing down the eggs. Can Retwolf get there? The Captivate gets Rapier, but Rapier will survive. Miane is close. He's going to try to 2v1 this. He goes in onto Nicken. Yeah, there is the Ravenous Pack. Nicken will surely fall. Now Miane changes attention onto Retwolf. The blink from Stitch, but he's out of range. The Captivate eats through his Warden, but does not finish him. Rattan on the other side of this wall. I don't know if he wants to go in on Miane here. He's going to let Retwolf deal with that himself.
I think he could.
I think he could
as
well.
A Captivate. Oh yeah, see. That would be a one-shot from Rattan right there onto Korean Prodigy. Korea's Prodigy, I should say.
I must resupply.
And yeah, and Rattan was just much more interested in getting that haste buff than following up with his teammates over there. And what turned out to be pretty good picks ends up going even. And so now we see a little bit more passive play from Mortal Team. They recognize that they're still very capable of losing this game.
Yeah, I mean they're up 4 kills, but it's still a very even game to this point. Just take a look at the kills. A lot of them on Sakari and Fenmore, but City has quite a few kills for the Spirit side. Rattan's got a couple. Nicken has a couple as well, and he has his pain. So, Retwolf seems to be in a bit of trouble here. Uses a really nice stasis as well as his ultimate. Retwolf's going to survive, and Miane actually falls, so...
Oh, I thought he might die from that Pride burn that he had going on there.
I thought he would too, but as you can see, that purple hue around him, those blood orbs from Viana, keeping him alive.
Yeah, so there we see the picks that Spirit Team really needs to get back into this game, and they're making it happen. Viana ult is off cooldown now, so they're probably going to want to look to make use of that. However,
Rattan in a fight here, and yeah, just a 4-level advantage favors Salas there. Rattan really had no answer for the combo from Cuss.
Maybe he DC'd because he just sat there in range for autoing, so I'm not sure if that's tilt or DC or what. Oh, duress. It has arrived.
Haha. All the fear on the Nick, and he has to use Dispel.
But City countering with some aggression.
Oh, the Azure Bell ult comes down onto City. He gets walled up from his friends. Splintering spikes from Vex with a shatter from Rapier will drop him. Now Red Wolf is here, lands the empowered Capulate onto Shivy, but Snitch is there as well, throws down the finale. It gets, oh, Cuss from the backside, gets exsanguinated by Gatsby underneath the binding to prevent the double kill, but now they're going to be able to dive King of Mass clearly underneath this binding. They're going to do everything they can to survive, but Mortal has just too many people here, too much support, and this binding will fall, as well as a 4 kill for the Mortal side.
Yeah, and just real lack of teamwork there. I think Gatsby really had to use his ultimate earlier in that fight to lock down Shivy when he got captured by that Captivate, but he just might have been out of range, just barely. And City, he countered well from behind with that gank, but his team just did not follow up on his pick, and he just ended up taking a Sakari ult plus 4-stack E-combo to the face as he flew to it with his ninja kick. And so, a widening of the lead.
Has captured a well.
There in your mind.
And even if Rapier dies here, it's pretty worth for that well.
I know you.
Could have turned into duress to anyone at some point, instead of using his blink there. Well, let's look at some items. How about that? Shivy with the early betrayal on Vex. He's probably going to be looking to go an on-hit Vex build, which we've seen a lot of, though he does not have the Pride to Vengeance yet, so it's not clear that's what he's going for, but I'm sure it's going to be a Fate next. Snitch and Rapier, each with their respective Prosperity Duresses. Just so powerful, that combination of items on Mage Tacticians.
Yeah, you see the
Gives you
double
the-
duress is really where it starts to shine on 2 range shapers.
Yep. So hard, especially for someone like Ferris to deal with that. I mean, he ease in if he gets to rest
There's
twice,
nowhere to go.
plus some follow-up CC. That usually is enough time of lockdown to cancel his flashback, and he just ends up dying for free.
Yeah, duress is one of the items we plan on talking about on Money Pigs tonight. Just possibly some solutions to maybe make it a little easier to deal with when they do start stacking them. But something that we'll be exploring tonight on Money Pigs. If you're into that sort of discussion, you stop by this channel here. As we see now, Miane getting caught out a bit. Final Protocol comes down. He uses Ravenous Pack with Stasis to try and get some health back, but too many people there, and he will get picked up by City.
So, a little bit of reckless play from Miane, and a good pick for the Mortal team. However, they're going to give up possibly 2 bindings for that, so perhaps calculated. However, we're looking at a possible 4v5 here under turret as City and King of Mass look to flank. However, they do not land a CC on Shivy.
Cuss gets ulted while the binding stays up, and he will drop forward. Sakari drops her ult with a finale, and Vex picks up the kill. Now Nicken locked down by that duress. Uses Dispel, but it's too little too late, and Vex grabs another kill.
Has been slain.
Yeah, and what I think could have been a real important team fight. However, I think they really needed to ult Cuss and just shut him down earlier before the turret had a chance to go down. So 1 kill for turret. Alright. So 1 death in exchange for turret and 2 kills. It's definitely weird. Let's go back to looking at items.
Sure.
Look at the difference between the Salus builds. City looking to finish the Adamants instead of just the form. You often see Salus' building form early on because of the spam ability of their spells really takes advantage of that form passive. But you don't usually see them finishing into the tier 3 item until much later in the game. Adamants is a very powerful item against double AD comps and people are very reliant on attack speed, which Fenmore is not. Nor is Rapier or Snitch on the common Sakari, so it's useful versus Shivy, but not much else. And really doesn't give him the stats that he needs, so... but he's got a second form as well, so he's looking to stack the forms. Whereas Cuss has gone a much more defensive build. Obviously he has more Vim to work with, but he's got the Subjugation and Rebirth. Extremely powerful items on Salus.
As we see Spirit side, a little caught out here. City's caught out by the wall, uses his ultimate. There it is, but Korea's Prodigy is here. They're giving chase underneath the binding. The Adamance goes off, but Cuss is just too tanky for that binding.
Yeah, there's some Reaper
Snitch,
submission.
meanwhile, and Shivy and Rattan, oh no, uses the recall from the flashback, and Red
Right
Wolf
into
is
the face of Shivy.
in a bad spot. Shivy gets another double kill, and now he is really just getting big.
Yeah, so taking that flashback to not kill the King of Mass, who had 1 hit left, and right back into the ulting Vex, who's at full health. Probably not the smartest move, but probably didn't make it.
Spirit binding has been destroyed.
Mortal Team is just so far ahead, doubling kills, haven't lost a single turret. A lot of these games today are just stomps. We're gonna get some good games in here.
Yeah, so far it seems to be the case, but
Now let's see, Shivy picking up that Ruin, probably looking for Resonance next on Vex, so he's going more of a traditional AD carry build, not the unhit build.
oh, Cuss goes in deep underneath.
Baited.
Yeah, baited. Oh, Sagari drops her ult as well, but it's a little too late to save Cuss there.
I think Cuss on tilt confirmed, getting baited by the Viana. Blink ulted Gatsby, using his blink defensively there, but still to great effect. But it's just too little too late, I think.
Take a look.
That is going to shut down their push, though. And we're going to see Spirit Team able to push out of their base a little bit here, recapture some map control with wards and some of their own jungle minions. Also recapture this spot well.
He is missing. Intermission.
And
Cuss is the Dawn Gate St. Vicious confirmed on stream.
Yeah, seems to be.
Well, you deserve this.
Take a quick look at the items here as you see Shivy now getting really big. Got 4 items as the Ruin, the Betrayal, the Resonance, and Ambition. A little different. You don't see too many Resonances on Vex. Usually it's a Fate and the Ruin and maybe even Insight. But he's elected to go with the Resonance this game. Now the chase is on. They're looking to catch Rattan. That duress just making him very sad. Shivy gets another kill. The double duress.
There's got to be some kind of diminishing returns on that passive or something between chambers.
Yeah, like an internal cooldown or something. As City uses his ult, they pick up Snitch. Miane with a nice stasis ultimate as well. He's still living the drain in the shield, keeping him alive. Shivy gets another kill.
And the Korean Prodigy coming up big.
That might be all she wrote.
500 Korean ping.
Cuss going back in onto Nicken. Nicken will fall as well.
And
As
that's
the
gonna
cores
GG,
fall
a last ditch effort.
from Red Wolf.
Cuss is just gonna meditate in his Guardian auto attacks, like bring it.
Ah, Miane does not quite get away. Red Wolf gets a kill, but it's more of a moral victory than anything else. Cuss still wants more, trying to chase as much as he can.
Yeah, they're just kind of messing around.
Yeah.
That's not closing this game out efficiently as they should.
The Spirit Team.
And the surrender finally comes out. GG. I don't know, not a big fan of rage quitting in houses.
No, it's not the best way to handle things. I'm sure it's frustrating, but whatever. Alas, we continue on here. Get another game up here in a minute. Ba-ba-ba-ba. All right. Ooh, that Final Fantasy Tactics music. You know what I'm talking about, Scrag.
Oh, I love that game. I was playing that this morning.
Were you? On stream? God damn it, did I miss it?
No, it's off stream. I love it that much. I was like, play Dog 8? Nah, it's Tactics.
Gotta
Look-
see
look
what
what
Rams
they,
is up to.
Did you play Tactics Ogre as well?
I did play Tactics Ogre. Actually, you know what? This is the Tactics Ogre theme, not Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm a
Oh.
jerk.
Well, speaking of the devil.
Yeah.
This is
All
spelled
right.
S. I think I don't have a spot already. Yeah, if you get someone to scoot over for a second just so I can get in.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I'll just move Snitch real quick. You can come in. All right.
Guess we just push forward.
Yep.
Right on with the picks.
Yes, sir. I guess I am first this time.
That's right.
Based off the strong performance last game, I'm going to take Chivy.
Alright, I'm going to pick... I'll pick City.
Okay. Next, I will go with... Ooh, I don't know. I'll take... I like Snitch. I like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, definitely a strong comp player. Among other things. I will pick Ugly Toddler.
Okay. I'll take Freezy.
How about Miyake?
I'll take Barry.
And I'll take Nikin.
I'll take Rapier.
All right, we're good to go.
We are good to go. All right.
And we're gonna see Rapier in the jungle. I haven't seen this before. Perhaps on Boya. Oh, I love seeing Boya in these houses. By far my favorite jungler. And not sure who's gonna jungle for the Spirit team.
Looks like City gonna answer the call.
All right, so here the picks are locked in. We've got Rattan picking Predator Calm. Talk about break the meta. Predator is widely considered to be sort of an underrated role, looking to get reworked in the upcoming progression patch to make it more viable. But it's always fun to see someone still try to make it work.
Look,
However-
it can work. I mean, I have been one of the biggest Predator advocates in this game since the beginning. It's you have to change your play style. You can't play like a tactician. That's the thing that gets people confused when they try to play Predator and they wonder why it doesn't work at all. You can't play it like Gladiator. You can't play it like Tactician. You have to play it a specific way. I don't think King of Masks is the ideal Predator, but it can work. He's just going to have to change up his play style to match what's going on with the game. But he has a team that he could potentially get early picks on with Faris, Cerulean, and Koggin. So if he maybe follows his jungler around, leaves his Gladiator alone in maybe a solo lane in some situations, and looks to roam, he could see some success on it.
Well, I think like Rattan originally came out of the scene as a comp player. Like that's by far, I think, his most comfortable pick. He's a very strong comp player, very aggressive, very high skill with the comp mechanics, doing those fast WQWs. Even at the ping, whatever ping he plays at from Germany. But
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So I think he's on a comfort pick there. He's looking to make the plays. He's looking to get those kills early and snowball. So, you know, respect for that. However, it's not always easy to kill a kill in lane. So we see that defensive armor ward for the Spirit team. They're going to look to prevent Rapier from getting that invade. However, Rattan wards the lane top. Those lane wars are really risky. They give you some bush control in lane, especially if you're going to be shoving that wave aggressively. However, makes a real vulnerability. As you see, they're not going to have any wards behind Money Pigs. And considering Moya is starting bottom of the map, he will be topside at level 5 and 6 at around the 4-minute mark, looking to make plays. So they are definitely going to be vulnerable to those ganks.
See the power starts for the junglers once again.
Yeah, and Koggin likely going to go for a full clear, as well as Moya. They both moved to that initial fish camp. Actually, we can see here, Koggin used his Vanquish on the first buff, and so did Moya. So they're likely not invading. When you see a Vanquish used on the first buff, they're not looking to invade, because you really want to have that Vanquish up.
Yeah.
If you're going to invade. Because if any of the laners come, or even the jungler comes to counter that invade, if you're stuck without a Vanquish, you're just giving that buff up 100%.
Well, it's nice to see some melee tacticians for a change, as opposed to the ranged ones, as we see a Kel and a Cerulean up in the top lane with Varian and Nisa, respectively. Primo Rattan getting a little low here, just gets lucky that he dodges that Gale. Might have spelled doom for him. Rapier is close. Is he looking for the loop around? They don't have him warded.
Yeah,
they have no ideas there. Toddler just used his flashback, so Rattan could fall here, but he uses a nice blink. The drain comes out onto Rapier, so he cannot give chase underneath the binding. So the blink burned.
Yeah, blink burned.
But a good gank nonetheless.
Moya, perhaps if Moya had just bypassed the Ferris and gone for Rattan, they might have actually picked up the kill there. But however, still worth. They have that blink down
and the drain.
Pressure in the lane, and the drain is down as well. So.
Uh-oh, now Snitch to be caught out a little bit, uses blink, but he doesn't go very far with it. I don't know if he kind of misclicked. Barry tries to throw down some Ashabel Gales to maybe pick one off at the end there, but he just doesn't have enough. That was a great blink.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of Cerulean in these games.
No, and it's shocking to me why you don't. He is very good. But yeah, I am Cerulean is by far my favorite shaper. But it just seems to be the trend of these ranged tacticians, these mages and Tesses that really provide the most support in the lane as far as pressure provided. And it's just so common to see them build that Prosperity Duress build. It works on anybody with range, and it just kind of shuts down those melee tacticians later on. And they're able to do so much more in these fights by safely harassing from range and getting those snares.
Yeah, so good combo there between Rattan and Toddler onto Barry, putting that pressure on the Ashabel. So important that you pressure Ashabel out of lane, or else she just makes your life miserable and impossible for you to farm under your turret. So they're doing a good job with the aggression. We'll see this.
Barry getting a little low here. One more auto attack, but a nice storm wall saves his life, and Toddler stays a little too long in range for him, and Snitch is going to pick up the kill.
Has been slain.
Yeah, so he got greedy for that kill and just ran out of time for his flashback and ends up being punished for it and dies. However, here comes Kog in bot lane. He's got the flank from behind.
Uh-oh.
Smart cam, please.
Smart camera. You know you want to go down there.